Welcome back, everyone, to Actual English. I'm Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 316, and today's topic is Money 1. We're starting a new category, and let's talk about saving versus carpe diem. Okay, it's carpe diem. Well, saving, we all know, saving money, not spending money, saving money for the future, right? But what is carpe diem? It's actually a Latin phrase, and it was often used in 16th to 17th century love poems, love poetry. And it basically means seize the day, you might have heard of that, or live in the present, enjoy the present, enjoy this very moment, instead of putting all your hopes and just thinking about what could possibly happen in the future. So instead of hoping for the future, enjoy this very moment. Enjoy the present moment, okay? That's carpe diem. So do you believe in saving money or do you believe in carpe diem? Okay, think about that while we take a listen to today's actual talk. Here we go.
Kelly, you look so happy. You're glowing. Inner glow coming from you. What is it?
Well, it might have something to do with my recent trip to Hong Kong and the damage I did there.
Good. Tell me about it.
Oh, gosh, where to start? There's just so much in Hong Kong.
Right.
I mean, there's the fashion, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And every time I go to a new country, I always want to hit the fashion that's there. Then there's the food, which is even more amazing.
Yeah.
Events. I went to some theater productions.
Great.
Let's just say that I put a dent in that credit card of mine.
It took a real hit, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Well, good for you. It's important to spend and live in the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I was a big saver. And I don't know if I enjoyed my time enough. My sister was the opposite. She just blew all her money. She loved doing retail therapy and, stuff like that. And my wife is the same. But these days, I'm getting better. At spending money on food and restaurants and holidays. And you have to live, don't you? I mean, really.
You have to live, but I'm always struggling with this. Like, what's more important? Being happy, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you could be dead tomorrow. We just never know.
No.
Or planning for the future that may never come.
Happy medium, isn't it?
Yes.
Balance, yeah.
There's that word balance.
Yeah.
I just never know where that line is drawn. It's difficult.
No, it's true, yeah.
Especially when you're traveling and you know that it's a once in a lifetime thing. You want to make the most of it. You want to go out and you want to celebrate.
I think you have to enjoy traveling and just forget about the money. Yeah.
Carpe diem.
Yes.
Welcome back, everyone. Was today's conversation a bit difficult for you to understand? I don't think it was all that bad. Well, if you had trouble understanding the entire actual talk conversation, hold your worries as always. I'll try my best to help you out. Okay, here we go. So today we had Gareth and Kelly talking about saving versus carpe diem. Carpe diem. And of course, Gareth says, Kelly, you look so happy. You are glowing. An inner glow coming from you. Yes, I added is to help you understand. An inner glow is coming from you. Okay, and he says, what is it? Anyhow, he begins by saying that Kelly looks really good. Okay, she's looking pretty today. She's looking good, beautiful. And he says, you are glowing. What does glow mean? Let's say, for example, there's glow in the dark paint. There's glow in the dark clothing, for example. Glow in the dark toys for kids. Glow means to shine, means to radiate, okay? Shine a light, okay? Radiate, radiate. So you can say that something is glow in the dark, which means when you turn off the lights, it's pitch dark, it's dark. There's no light at all, but something appears green or yellow or pink. Often we have glow-in-the-dark watches where you can see what time it is because we often see those green lights that glow in the dark. That's glow in the dark. But here, he's just saying your face is glowing. You're glowing, meaning you look so bright and happy, okay? You look beautiful. That's what he's saying. What is it? He asks. Let's find out. Well, it might have something to do with my recent trip to Hong Kong. And the damage I did there. The damage I did there. Okay. So she's saying, well, maybe I'm looking good. Maybe I'm looking healthy. Maybe I'm looking pretty. Okay. Because of my recent trip to Hong Kong. Because she took a vacation. Okay. She returned from a vacation, so she had some time to relax. Maybe that is why she looks very good. She's glowing. And here she says, and the damage I did there. Damage, okay? What she means by the damage that she did there is that she did something she shouldn't have done. I think she's talking about having spent more money than she should have. Maybe that's the damage she's talking about. Anyhow, Garrett says, okay, tell me about it. And here we go. Kelly says, oh gosh, where to start? Meaning I don't know where to start. I don't know what to begin by telling you. There's just so much in Hong Kong. There's the fashion, which is amazing. Okay, so there's fashion in Hong Kong. And every time I go to a new country, I always want to hit the fashion that's there. Hit the fashion that's there. What does she mean by to hit the fashion that's there? She basically means to try it out herself, okay? Hit the fashion there. She wants to try out the fashion, perhaps go shopping, okay? Buy styles and, trends that are fashionable in that country. So she likes to do that. And then she says, then there's the food, which is even more amazing. So she began by saying that there's just so much in Hong Kong. Okay, but among those many things, there's fashion that you can't leave out. And of course, even better, there's food, which is even more amazing. Events. Okay, this is another one. Events. I went to some theater productions. Let's just say that I put a dent in that credit card of mine. Okay. So she's saying, I put a dent in my credit card, simply put. Let's take a look at this pattern here. Put a dent in something. Do you have a dent in your car? If you own a car, do you have a dent in your car? Usually if you say that you have a dent in your car, you're talking about maybe something close to a scratch, okay? We often have small dents in our car, which are indentations, okay? 쏙 들어간대죠. Okay, those are dents in our cars. But if you say to put a dent in something, it means to damage something, okay? Or we're talking about a certain amount of something, not using a great amount of something. Okay, using just a small amount of something, put a dent in something. But in this case, she is saying that she put a dent in her credit card, meaning she used her credit card. She used her credit card too much, okay? She destroyed or damaged her credit card by spending too much money. Now here he says, it took a real hit, didn't it? If something takes a hit, you're saying that you are suffering from loss, okay? So he's saying, it took a real hit. You're suffering from that, huh? Okay. We'll practice these patterns later on in more detail. She says, yeah, it did. Moving on. Well, good for you. Why is he saying good for you? He's saying, well, good for you because she was able to go on that vacation and just enjoy herself. And here we go. He says, it's important to spend and live in the moment. That is why he said, good for you. Okay? Live in the moment. What does that mean? In the beginning, when I described carpe diem, I said, live in the present moment. Enjoy the present moment, right? So to live in the moment means to enjoy this very second, this very moment. In other words, carpe diem. Live in the moment. So he's saying, it's important to spend money sometimes and just enjoy that moment. Live in the moment. I mean, when I was younger, I was a big saver. What is a saver? A person called a saver or described as a saver is a person that saves something, especially money. So he's saying that he was a big saver, the type of person that saved all of his money. And I don't know if I enjoyed my time enough. And then he talks about his sister. My sister was the opposite. They were not alike. She was very different. She just blew all her money. Now, blow one's money. I guess he wasn't saying that she blew all her money in a completely negative way, but to blow one's money means to waste money. Just to spend money without thinking. Sometimes it also means to use up or spend all of your money and have no money left. But he's just making a comparison. When he was younger, he was a saver, and his sister was a spender. She would spend money, and Gareth would save money. He was a saver, and she was a spender. She would blow all her money, spend all her money. She loved doing retail therapy. Retail therapy is what? Basically, it means just go out and enjoy shopping, okay? Just getting rid of all that stress shopping. So she really enjoyed buying things. And my wife is the same. So his wife is a spender as well. But these days, I'm getting better at spending money on food. So he's getting better. More and more, little by little, he's spending more money on food and restaurants and holidays, meaning vacations. And he says, you have to live, don't you? That's right, you have to live. Live really. Enjoy life by going to places and spending money sometimes when you need to, right? That's what he is saying. Now, Kelly says, but I'm always struggling with this, okay, with this thought. She asks herself, what's more important? Being happy? Because you never know what's going to happen. That's right. Being happy is, I think, the most difficult thing. There's nothing more difficult than being happy. If somebody asks you, what is your definition of being happy? What would you say? I don't know. Happiness is a very difficult word to describe or define. But anyhow, being happy is important. And she says, because you never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's waiting for you in the future. You could be happy. You could be very sad. You could be dead tomorrow, she says. Could be dead tomorrow. Meaning, we just never know. You never know what's going to happen to you in the future. And she says, or planning for the future that may never come. Okay. You can plan for the future that may never come. Meaning, you can hope for something. You can dream of something or dream for something. You can save money for something, but that day may never come, meaning that will never happen. Okay? You may die at an early age, or even if you live for a very long time, that thing you had been hoping for or dreaming for so long could never happen. You never know what's waiting for you in the future. And then here we go. Gareth says, a happy medium, isn't it? A happy medium. Now, we're not saying somewhere in between. A medium is just a way or a means of expressing something, such as an idea. It's something that we use to communicate often, okay? And then, yes, Kelly says, there's that word, balance. She always says this, balance. She loves balance. I just never know where that line is drawn. It's difficult. And of course, they both seem to agree. Gareth says, yeah, that's true. Especially when you're traveling and you know that it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. A once-in-a-lifetime thing is something that may only happen once in your life. Okay? That's why we often call really just amazing experiences a once-in-a-lifetime experience. An experience that we may never, ever experience in life again. So once in a lifetime, something is something that only happens to you once. All right, and she says, and you want to make the most of it. Garrett says, I think you have to enjoy traveling and just forget about the money. Sometimes I think it would be nice to do this. Also, it's easier, although it's easier said than done. Anyhow, Kelly ends by saying carpe diem. That's right. So they seem to agree. Of course, money is important, but money doesn't buy us happiness. And the point is, we never know what's going to happen in the future. We never know, okay? So why not enjoy this very moment? Appreciate the moments and live in the moment. What do you think about that? Okay, everyone, with that in mind, let's take a listen to today's actual talk conversation one more time.
Kelly, you look so happy. You're glowing. Inner glow coming from you. What is it?
Well, it might have something to do with my recent trip to Hong Kong and the damage I did there.
Good. Tell me about it.
Oh, gosh, where to start? There's just so much in Hong Kong. I mean, there's the fashion, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And every time I go to a new country, I always want to hit the fashion that's there. Then there's the food, which is even more amazing.
Yeah.
Events. I went to some theater productions.
Great.
Let's just say that I put a dent in that credit card of mine.
It took a real hit, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Well, good for you. It's important to spend and live in the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I was a big saver. And I don't know if I enjoyed my time enough. My sister was the opposite. She just blew all her money. She loved doing retail therapy and, you know, stuff like that. My wife is the same. But these days, I'm getting better. You know what? Spending money on food and restaurants and holidays. And you have to live, don't you? I mean, really.
You have to live, but I'm always struggling with this. Like, what's more important? Being happy, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you could be dead tomorrow. We just never know.
No.
Or planning for the future that may never come. There's
Happy
that,
medium, isn't it?
Yes.
Balance, yeah.
There's that word balance.
Yeah.
I just never know where that line is drawn. It's difficult.
No, it's true, yeah.
Especially when you're traveling and you know that it's a once in a lifetime thing. You want to make the most of it. You want to go out and you want to celebrate.
I think you have to enjoy traveling and just forget about the money. Yeah.
Carpe diem.
Yes.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for actual expressions. Let's take a look at these 3 vocab words and then take you on to 4 patterns for today. The first vocab word we have for you is glow. This is a word that Gareth used in the beginning. How he said, Kelly, you're looking good today. You're glowing, right? Glow, glow. It's used in the verb form in this case, and it means to radiate, to glimmer, to shine, bling, bling, shine, to look very, very good. This is a great compliment. If you want to tell a female friend that she looks really pretty, okay, yeah, you can say, you're glowing today, which means you're shining, you're so beautiful. Try using that, okay, if you want to impress a girl. Moving on to saver, we're talking about a person who saves something, like a collector, an accumulator, or hoarder. This kind of has a negative connotation to it, but to accumulate, to collect, to save something, especially money. We were talking about saver versus spender, a person who spends money versus a person who saves money. And then medium, here we go, stress goes on the first syllable, it's medium, and we're talking about a certain means or a way of expressing your ideas, for example. Okay, let's move on to our first pattern for today. Put a dent in something. Now this means to use a little bit of something. It can also mean to make little progress, okay? And it can also mean to reduce the amount of something or even to damage something. There are many or several definitions, but yeah, you really need to pay attention to how it is used in a sentence. All right, so here we go. You didn't even put a dent in your dinner. Of the many definitions, what would this mean? Okay, what would this sentence mean? You didn't even put a dent in your dinner. This means what? It means that you hardly touched your food. You hardly ate your food. Okay, you almost didn't eat anything. The food is all there on the plate. So you didn't even put a dent in your dinner, is one way of putting it. Okay, and then you can say our home renovation put a pretty big dent in our savings. Okay, so in this sentence, what does it mean? It's a slightly different definition. All right, our home renovation put a big dent in our savings. We're talking about money. So we're talking about damage done to you. We're basically saying that home renovations, yes, you ended up spending a lot of money. It cost a lot of money. So it put a big dent in your savings. Something can put a big dent in your wallet as well, meaning that it made you spend a lot of money. Moving on, take a hit or take the hit. This can mean to take responsibility for something, or it can also mean to experience loss. Okay, take a blow, for example. So, I'm willing to take the hit for my family. Okay, so you're saying you're willing to take that risk. You're willing to take the responsibility. You're willing to take all the blame, okay, for your family. You're willing to give it up all for your family. And then moving on to live in the moment. Remember, we were talking about carpe diem. Live in the moment means to enjoy the moment. Enjoy the present moment. Okay, so here is a sentence. I wish I could quit my job and live in the moment. Yeah, so this means to enjoy the present and not worry about the future. Okay, not worry about the future, just think about now. So you're saying, I wish I could just quit my job and just live this moment. Not worry about the future, not worry about money, not worry about anything, but just really enjoy this moment. I would love to live in the moment. And then finally, blow one's money. Imagine, if you can't remember the definition, you can think of to blow one's money. If you have money, let's say bills, paper money, on your hand and you blow it away, it disappears, it goes away. So it means to spend money impulsively, okay? And you're just wasting money. You're blowing all your money away. You're wasting money. We're spending a lot of money. Okay, here we go. Sarah blew a whole lot of her money gambling. In this case, you could say that Sarah wasted a lot of her money. She lost a lot of her money gambling. Okay, so that about wraps it up for today's actual expressions.